Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pre-trial this now. What we've cut out as a sample, I'll let you put that one back. Yeah. And we're going to do a pre-trial on this navy fabric and see what we can achieve. Okay, and see how it looks and what alterations we need to make.
Can I just ask you this, Jan? When I put material down, I never know sort of which way round to do it. Why have you done it that way rather than that way?
Okay, good question. This is the straight grain of the fabric. Okay, this is cross grain. So when the fabric is woven, the natural fall of the fabric is going down this way. It could go down that way or this way, meaning that this fabric has got no real flowers that you can tell which is the right way or the wrong way. Yeah. But we do know that it shouldn't be this way. Okay, not the cross grain, because when you hold the fabric up, the natural fall is like this. The natural fall isn't like this.
Right.
Okay, so what happens is when there are certain clothing that is made like this, but it can create more problems when it's sewn like this than when it's like this.
Right.
So
it is important to be the right way.
Yeah, so if the fabric hasn't got a pattern, hasn't got a border that's running across here, and it's got flowers going up that way, then your best way to lay the fabric is this way.
Always that way, unless you need to match it. Or...
Now, if you've got a fabric which has, I don't know if this one's got it, but I don't know if this one's got it. Okay. See, even this one, even though it's got a border here, it's the flowers are actually running up that way. So what you've got to think of is, you know, these threads. Can you see these threads coming out? They'll come out this way. If you pull on one of them little threads, you'll pull a thread like this, but it won't come out.
Yeah.
Okay, so when the fabric is woven, the machines are weaving it like back and forth like this. So it'll always fall better when it's on the straight. And normally that grain is called the straight grain of the fabric. That's the grain line.
Right.
And then this is cross grain, because this is the way the fabric is woven.
Right, okay.
So
I'll note that down, because that's important. That's an important
Yeah. So with the fabrics that have no... Now this fabric, the other thing that you asked me, the bias. So we've got a straight grain, we've got a cross grain, and then we've got bias. The bias is when the fabric is folded over and it's not against the grain and it's not against the cross grain, it's like cut in between.
Right.
And normally what you get with that fabric is you'd get a lot more pull like this. Can you see that elastics? So when you're cutting on a bias, you would fold the fabric, and instead of cutting the shape on the straight, you'd cut it from the angled material, and
I've used it for pipe.
For piping.
Bias binding.
And the reason why we use it for bias binding is because we need to create curves. Yeah. So creating curves out of a stretchy fabric, you'd have to have it like this, unless it's a fabric like jersey and stuff, where it's naturally pulling anyway. Yeah. That's because of
there's no pull on that.
The natural fabric of this has no pull. It has no pull that way, and it has no pull that way. But if you cut it across in the center, then it will have this give.
Yeah.
Okay. So we do certain cuts on a given fabric, where I've done some circle type of skirts and abayas and so on. You know, where you hang, I've just done one actually, a skirt, a full lenger skirt. I'll show you that in a bit. It's really, really nice. Yeah. It's really wide.
Have you done it with the umbrella skirts that you make? I think I've seen you cut on the bias with those.
Yeah. It's cut on a circle. I've actually just explained it, and here's my template that I did for that. Now, can you see what I've done there? It's a half a circle.
Yeah.
And you know, that's where the waistline's created from. So when on a fabric, on a paper you can't, because the paper doesn't have give. to fall.
Yeah.
But if this was cut on a fabric and if you held it like this, it'll have these flowy.
So it hangs really nice.
This hanging But the one that I've made it
like a lenga. Did you
the lenga.
do that with an Aya skirt for Where's Wally? Because that hung really nicely.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. I made that out of that style as well. But this, what I generally would have done was created a full circle one. So, you know, half of the front I would have created out of half of a circle, and the back I would have created out of a half a circle.
Yeah.
But you need a lot of material for that. So this particular one that I was making, I didn't have that much fabric, so I did a 3/4.
Yeah.
And I joined that back up to that.
Yeah.
So it was a 3/4, there was a quarter missing in it basically because I ran out of fabric. But in wearing it, you can't really tell because it's got such a massive flare, you know, because you can imagine all this is the hanging around the skirt. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was quite wide. But that was my my cutting template. Okay, I think I'm just gonna swap the batteries out.